I should do a sounds of nature video. Y'all hear it out here, man? It's so nice. Early in the morning. Nobody's awake but me, though. That's the downside to it. Want to test some shit. I need a willing participant. I need somebody to help me for a minute. And what I need is somebody that can be quick on the, yeah, that's working. I hear you. Hey, I'm awake. LOL. Thank God somebody is. Me and you is the only two. That's why I'm. Well, you got a minute? Our bucket list has holes. You got a minute to help me? I hear you good. Good. Yeah, what's up? LOL. Suzette. Hey. Oh, hi. Good. All right. Well, damn, now everybody's rolling in. Good morning, Mr. Davis. Vision Blue. Hello. How you doing? Shit. Wouldn't you know it, man? I've been sitting out here for 20 minutes. I want to ride. I'm Mr. I don't know how to fix my muffler. I want to ride by. Harley. He's cool. Don't bark. It's a neighbor. You know him. Oh, he's out here with me. How's everybody doing this morning? Good. Suzette, how are you? Are you at work? What are you up to this morning? You want to come up and tell us the story like me and you was talking about? I put testing on the title that way I can keep it relaxed. I don't want anybody bitching about this or that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fly under the radar ever since I got well, here I'll drop you the link, Suzette. Give me just a second. It's early. I didn't even make coffee, man. I'm gonna have a what do you call it? A what was this? There we go. Bear with me, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Trying to test my computer, man. I did a lot of updates, and I've had some bad issues, but I thought this would be a good way to test, see how the internet's working. I'll bring Suzette up and let her, because, and this is the honest truth, I have stayed so far away from the Fred Hill thing. It's not even funny. This is going to be me learning it for the first time from Suzette. Good morning, V, Dolores, Debbie H, Victoria. I know none of this. I tell you, ever since the Dawn's recent arrest come out, I've been sidetracked with that. I've been looking up ex-boyfriends of Candace's. There you are.
My camera off. Okay.
Good morning.
Morning. What are you doing this morning, John?
And I've been having so much. I can't download videos. I've been having some major trouble out of my computer. So I thought I would come on and test some stuff out.
Well, you sound. I mean, yeah, I can hear you fine.
I know you seem to be coming in nicely. Also, tell us the Fred Hill story from the jump, because I've never.
Well, yeah, I was looking at some of my notes because so much more has been said since we were going to talk about it earlier. But yeah, just so Ziggy called Fred because he got busted for his uh meth
Right.
uh, distribution lab, whatever he had going on.
Right.
And then he told Ziggy, that Cotton, what was, let me have, Roy Simpson, known as Cotton, had an alive summer
Uh-huh.
at the waterfalls, which was Laura, Laura something Falls, Laura Runs. That's what it was, Laura Runs.
Okay.
So Fred, pretty much in the interview, said he felt like they had found her in one of the caves at the Laura Runs Falls, and
Who had found her?
he said he felt like the law had found her. I
Uh-huh.
knew because they had apparently questioned him, and that he felt like they knew where she was at, or had found her because um he had passed, apparently he told that story to them and passed a polygraph test about it, blah blah blah,
Is
but
what he told Ziggy.
that's what he told Ziggy.
Okay.
Yes. And then his after all of that, let's see, I
Did
had
he
some more notes on it.
did he mention how this guy came to have Summer? Was he saying that
No,
that guy
not not that I
abducted?
know of. Now I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to all of Ziggy's, the whole, I didn't listen to, I did listen to the part where she had the conversation with him, and
Okay.
she was streaming it, or recording it,
Uh-huh.
streaming, you might as well say, and then he was like, this is just between me and you, and so she was kind of like, oops, and covered the phone up and blah blah blah. I don't know how uh this Cotton Simpson fits into it, because people were saying he was very old and kind of feeble at the time, and then he died falling off a cliff or something like that, because that was something that he liked to do, was hike and be up doing things like that. So a lot of people have kind of debunked it. Not the law, just YouTubers are debunking it pretty much because of his age and him not being able to probably even
Pull off
pick
the
up a yeah,
abduction.
pick up a 5-year-old child. He was kind of feeble at the
Right.
time of his demise, unless
Right.
he had help. But everybody's like Fred Hill's a liar, and not that I think it shouldn't be looked into, and they probably are looking into it. I feel like they have to look into anything that somebody tells them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to investigate leads.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was a lead, whether it was a lie or BS or whatever. I felt like they maybe had to investigate it, have to go out there and check it out.
Right.
So, but nothing much has been said about it lately.
Well, it's the damnedest timing. I mean, when better to drop such a bombshell as to after you've been apprehended and are in a shitload of trouble?
A shitload, because I think that he got arrested, then his girlfriend got arrested, and then Don got ordered back to Tennessee. And there for about a week or so, I was like, "Ooh, maybe something's gonna bust open. Maybe something's gonna finally come out." Nothing came out.
Ugh. See, I told you. Remember when you told me about that? I was like,
Yeah,
sounds sketchy, just what I'm hearing so far.
well, it came from Fred, so
You just gotta I just always question somebody's intentions. You know what I'm saying? Why?
Right. The only thing that caught my attention about that was I remember way back from the get go that Don, that's one of the first persons that he went to was Fred Hill, like,
Hmm.
to blame him. Well, Dudley and Fred Hill, that's the two that stood out. So that's what caught my attention about it with Fred saying anything, is because Don in the beginning, thought that. But of course, Don since has come out and said Fred Hill's a dang liar, and I don't believe nothing comes out of his mouth, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
Dawn's
of
wishy
course,
washy.
I don't believe nothing comes out of Don's mouth. So
Yeah. I can't. I, I don't know. I would say Fred's in some deep shit though.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this ain't his first rodeo either.
right. More times you get tapped on the hand for that, the the
And I
you
tell
only
you,
get 3 times with that felony stuff like that, and you are a lifer.
uh, he, I don't. I tell you, it's a weird thing to do though, because that's definitely not going to make his stay uh, at county lockup any grander, is it? It's not going to make you more popular
The only
among them.
No, and from what I'm understanding, that telephone call cost him his phone privileges. Like, they ain't letting Fred get no phone calls because, and I'm not totally sure what Ziggy did was legal. People are on the fence about it, whether it was or whether it wasn't. Yes, all the phone calls are recorded. It tells you that, but I mean, it doesn't say, "Hey, put this on the internet." So I don't know what she did was crossing the line with a legal thing or not, but maybe not. Hadn't nobody done nothing.
Well, I mean, Tennessee's kind of loose with that shit. I It's probably not against the law. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either, and I didn't pull the laws up on it,
Right.
or something like that. But now, what did pique my interest was Kathy, the friend, going
Hmm.
over her notes last night on some time when Candace spent with her, and she
Okay.
had done a little bit a deeper dive on Kathy the friend. I mean, Kathy the friend did a little bit more, in depth stuff with things that went on when Candace stayed with her, and
Okay.
from what I took from it, Candace pretty much. Ooh, it's storming here. You might could have heard that. I don't even know.
I thought you stubbed
Thundering.
your toe.
No, it's thundering here. It's storming. But she never wrote it. Candace pretty much has the mind, from what I took from it as a teenager. Like, she's never wrote a check. She's never ordered anything off. She does nothing for herself in those regards. Um, I would be surprised if she could, she could write good, from what I took from it.
Uh huh.
Um, Pretty much Candace just has the mind of a child, not a child, but and she would this is one thing that made me think of a kid. I said, when a kid gets at first she started out with this, but then when she was talking about, she started out, and she said that when Candace would get cards and stuff like that through the mail, she would open them up, and if money didn't drop out of the cards, she just threw them to the side. She didn't read them, none of that. Well, that's what a child does. They get a card for a birthday and money falls out. They throw that card to the side. They don't care what it says. But yeah, she would just, if money didn't fall out of that card, she just toss it to the side and
Did
not
she
even
get a
read
lot?
it. Or
Did she
I
say she got
I
a lot
think
of
she
cards?
did. I think she did. Yeah, the way Kathy was talking. She said she had got a lot of help. That Candace, a lot of people helped Candace. A lot of people put, a lot of time into that house, and uh, a lot of people were willing to help Candace get away from Don because she said that's what she wanted the whole time he was in jail. And Kathy filled out her HUD papers for her to try to get housing. She was trying to help her get Social Security, but Candace has never worked and paid anything in, so she couldn't get Social Security, any kind of SSI
Right.
help, because she's never paid taxes. And so she got denied for that. And when it came to talking to the kids, somebody had asked her a question about talking to the boys, and she said that when they're in custody like that, they set up a time for you to call them, and talk to them. And it
Okay.
had just got to the point to where they told her, if you can't call on the appointed times, just, don't bother. So I guess she wasn't calling on appointed time. She just calling when Candace wanted to call, or not bothering to call at all.
Right.
So I think they just was like, look, if you can't call when we set the times up for you to call, then just forget it. And when I think with the DCF case, like when you're on probation, and I know this is true because I know people that have been on probation, a lot of times it is just give me your money, go in here and pee in this cup and bring it back to me. And of course, there's ways around peeing in a cup if you don't have to be watched.
Oh yeah.
But she said with the DCF case, they took hair. They wanted to take the hair follicle, so there was no getting around that.
Right.
And about a month or so back, when Don was on Alive, I think over at Miss Stacy's, his hair was colored, and
Yeah.
and then Kathy said that, and I was thinking, I wonder if they thought if they dyed their hair that would make a difference, because that's not going to make a difference. They get the root, they don't, what I'm saying.
Right.
Say that, because everybody's like, Don, what did you do to your hair, da, 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 da. And he's like, oh, just something different. But isn't that kind of weird that he dyed his hair and then she said that about them taking that hair fall.
Well, they're like they sell shampoo and stuff that says it'll fix that too. So it could be, but I think Don just wants to look younger. I mean, he's damn near 60. You know what I'm saying? I think he's having him a midlife crisis.
Sounds like I don't know, but that just killed me about her. If money didn't fall out of them cards, she just threw them to the side. So, I mean, that just tells you right there that people need to quit enabling them. People need to quit sending them money. They just need to stop with that. You know what I'm saying?
That
She's
sounds bad
not.
though. It's greedy that that money.
Yeah,
I wonder if when money falls out, if she reads the card, even like then.
yeah, that would have been a good question. Yeah.
I bet she does then. I bet you 100 spot pops out that thing. She's like, well, let's see who this is. Hey, yeah, let me write them back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me get 50 more.
But she said that the whole time that Candace was with her, Candace was very docile, very, never lost her temper, never seen her get mad. She loved to go fishing. She fished a lot. Um, just a very calm person.
Yeah,
But she said, the minute Don got out of jail, Candace bolted. She went with Don.
really.
So she's Candace is just the type of person, she can't take care of herself, and she hates staying by herself. She's one of those people that does not want to stay by herself. So staying on the hill by herself, she hated it. Um,
Well, then,
she
you're having to pay the bills too. And with Dawn not there, I
I
don't know.
don't
Must
think
be
it
kind
was
of a,
that though, because I think people were helping her with that.
you think?
I think so.
Well, she's. I don't. You know, I would. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so confused about like when I kept wondering what was going to happen when Dawn got out of jail because I mean Candace kind of showed her ass in my opinion. You know, if it was my wife while I was in jail, if she was out with Benny and
Um,
Ernie and you know some of the stuff was going on that went on, you would think he seems like the kind of guy to me that there would be. I don't know. It's weird.
well,
It makes
the
me
thing,
think they're sticking together for more than more. I don't know.
the
I,
thing with that though is, yeah, she done that. She done what she wanted, but because she was like, "F you, I'm leaving you. I want a divorce." But then he would be like, "No, I'm sorry. I've changed. I want, this, and this." So I don't really think he could say anything about what she was doing while he was in jail because she was saying, "I don't want to be with you anyways," like, you know. But then as soon as he got out of jail, it was on, they was back on together.
so, but I guess it's true love.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's something, ain't it?
It's
Something's
a,
keeping them together.
it's wild. I'll say that for him. But Don has not been back on YouTube in a couple of weeks. But I heard now that his probation officer did tell him to stay off YouTube. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just YouTube talk. So you take that how you want it. you know.
Well,
Um.
I'm pretty sure. Um, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm sure. I'm sure they don't agree with it, but I don't know if they can actually tell him not to do it. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
kind of impedes on his freedom of speech, I guess.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
would think because especially where he hasn't been charged, nothing like that with anything, you would think they could highly recommend it, but who knows, you know? I know that Kathy, I think, is the one that said that Candace and Don was told that being on YouTube would keep them from getting their boys back.
Yeah, she did. Well, she said, and I took from what she said last night that they don't, they did lose their rights. Like they don't, they're not going to get them back. You know. Now that's what I took from it.
Well, see, and that's what that post that I showed a while back said, you know, from one of them, Miss Christine over at the farm,
Oh
and
yeah,
had shared it, and that post had said that they had relinquished their rights because it's what was best for the boys and all that. But then you get Don's last appearance, the time I seen him saying something about the Arkansas um, Children's Services was helping him with the Tennessee with the boys, and I
yeah.
was like,
I don't believe that.
oh, I don't believe that either. I don't believe it for 1 second.
And I'm gonna tell you something else I took. I don't think. Yeah, you can change your probation, from state to state, you know, but
Right.
you got to get it okayed with all the. You got to get it okayed with your probation officer. Then you got to find a probation officer in Arkansas. I don't think all that happened. That I could be wrong, but why is your probation officer from Tennessee telling you to come back?
You know, Holly said, my opinion, there was never any chance they'd get their boys back. You know what? I don't think so. I think it was very little with still not knowing where Summer is and what happened to her. You know,
Yep,
because
yep,
imagine they do that, they give them back, and then something happens to one of them. You know,
exactly. I mean, I really think that, and this might have been said, that Summer being missing has a lot to do with why those boys ain't coming back. Like it's the cases are bleeding together.
Well, I would say, that people that are probably involved in those decisions understand that Don and Candace have not been cleared in Summer's disappearance. And that's one reason I say I think if the police could clear them, they would, because of stuff like that, you know?
Yep,
I mean, it's 2 years in and they ain't been cleared. It makes you wonder why, don't it?
it does. And I feel like there's probably some people that, could be cleared that they're not clearing, when they're saying everybody's still, everything's still on the table, which I guess it is
Mm-hmm.
because nobody can say 100% that yes, she wasn't taken. But I'm tell you, I just believe if she was taken, she was taken by somebody, some people that they were hanging around. She was taken by somebody they know.
That's the feeling I get too. Yeah.
And I feel like if that's what happened, they know who did it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they know who was coming up and down on their property, and whoever had her, got her, gone, they know who it was.
I feel like they do. I really do. I feel like Candace wasn't there when it happened, possibly. I think the whole timeline could
I've,
be
I've been
wrecked.
saying that to you. Yep, and that timeline, I don't. Yeah, I feel like that too.
I really feel like the one thing she said that she meant was when she said that it wouldn't happen this
Oh,
summer, she was around. And I feel like for whatever reason, maybe she wasn't. Damn, I lost Suzette. Uh, Anybody else want to come up? Let me drop the link back. They don't seem to mind that in 2 years they haven't been cleared. They don't bring it up, do they? You don't hear them bring it up. I've noticed that. Holly, you can come up too if you want to. I hope that wasn't me. Was that you or me?
me, it was me.
Okay.
I touched some buttons. I knew better.
Oh man, when you're on the phone, you gotta be careful with that, don't you?
I know it.
I was on Nana's the other day. Uh, I kicked myself off twice, and then Nana couldn't get me in. I
And
about
I
threw
think
my phone.
now my internet here is pretty good, so I can't
Mm-hmm.
really complain. But I think Nana has trouble with her internet sometimes, like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pain in the ass streaming too.
Yeah, I think Cam on one of his lives here recently, he's the what's throwing this timeline off. He said two stops that were made have was not mentioned, and supposedly there was a tobacco store stop that wasn't mentioned, and a stop at the DCF. Like, I guess Candace had to go by the DCF. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
So the two of the stops on for the timeline were not mentioned, but he did say that one of them was to DCF.
Well, who I don't know. I think though the important part is after H.
Yep,
I think
yep.
it
After
was
H.
after that, whatever it was went down.
Yep. I feel like it happened. I do feel like it happened after they got home. Whatever happened after, after she got home.
I just can't decide if what happened next was 100% in a plan or it was the result of an accident.
It's hard to say, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know that. I think they were keeping her head shaved too. I don't think that was a one time thing. I don't think they just like shaved her head that one time and that was it. Just, and it's like somebody said, and this is sad too. In some of those pictures, I mean, she's like bald. Like that's not shaved. That's not buzzed off. I mean, it's like they just completely. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it.
It almost. I mean, a lot of things I've thought about the head shaving, and I think there's a lot of possibilities. I think even it could be a possibility it was made to make her look sick to get donations.
Yep,
I'm
I've
not
thought three
saying
or
that.
four
I,
different
I,
reasons.
I'm just saying, I thought it was really interesting that Robin said she thought they were there for donations when she seen them the first time. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Because
And
Candace really looked like she was there for the sermon, didn't she?
Jody Sue's talked about them going places on Easter for stuff for that, and it makes you wonder, man. It really does.
Well, they were just like Don. It's like Kathy said last night. Don did not give her a lot of money to run that household. Hardly anything. He
Right.
saved his money for his Knoxville trips. Don's money went towards Don and his habits. And he just gave her very little to work with. And four youngins, four kids, and you getting, crumbs that Don wants to give you. Very controlling of Candace.
And he could have been controlling her with beer too,
Well, now she don't like beer. I
or
did learn that.
alcohol.
She likes her liquor. She likes She likes her whiskey. She don't drink beer. She don't like the taste of beer. So
Right.
she's a hard drinker. Because you know yourself, you can drink a couple of shots of whiskey, and it's way different than just sitting down drinking a couple of beer.
Oh yeah. That's why I
So
don't. That's why I don't drink whiskey.
I don't drink because I don't like hangovers.
I was telling Holly the other day what happens when I go to the bar and drink whiskey. Back when I was a younger man, it's bad.
Oh
I could
yeah.
imagine trying to raise a child and doing it.
Oh
You know.
yeah. It's funny because my grandmother, she was old school, and I don't know, back like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, people kept a bar, like in their house. Like they had a whole little bar set up, had drink, had anything. They
Liquor
just kept
cabinet.
alcohol. Yeah, yeah. And she always had one. It was just, but we never, I never have nothing like that. My mom didn't, none of us ever, had just come on in and make yourself a drink, whatever, you wanted. There it was.
Right.
But yeah, my grandmother and my grandma and grandpa, they always had a full thing set up for, they had, but back then people got together and they played cards and, went to each other's houses for different things. And then they socially drank like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. People don't. Yeah. Yeah. Times have changed, ain't they?
They really have. And they're not changing for the better. There's got more and more bad people, which what is good about, well, I always say people's always been bad. There's always been bad out there. I just think we have more uh ways of knowing it now, you know, with social media and DNA coming as far, just we have more tools to catch the bad people now.
Yeah, we do. Apparently, and I hope some of those tools have been utilized in Summer's case and we don't know about it.
I do too. I keep hoping that. I keep hoping. I know people don't have a lot of faith in Hawkins County, and I'm one of them, but I'm hoping that I'm hoping they're building some kind of case.
Now, Summer's case has had the attention of TBI and the FBI too. So,
Yeah.
it ain't just what Summers County's found. Hopefully, those have found something also. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you would think too that it's made such big national news too, and so many people talk about it that they want to solve it to be like, we were on top of this. We didn't just sweep anything under the rug. We didn't overlook it. We didn't ignore it. We didn't, we've been working on it for 2 years, or however long it takes.
Right.
So yeah, I'm hoping they've gotten. But see, I'm worried that they might not have the data that they could have used because there was no service up there on Ben Hill. It might have been hard to tell
Yeah.
who was where at what time because the service was so bad up there.
Yeah.
And
It could have made it harder, definitely.
and see, so I think about that they might not have what they need when it comes to that because of the service being so bad.
Right. Somebody says, does anyone wonder why the boys haven't said anything about that day? They're safe now, so I would think they would feel safe to talk now. Well, we have no idea what the boys have said and what they haven't. And that could be part of evidence that we don't know of, too,
Right. They may have found, and somebody said you don't just take them right away and start questioning them. You have to
Absolutely.
build you have to build a relationship with them. You have to make them feel safe. We don't know how much deprogramming they needed coming
Right.
out of that environment.
Right.
So, especially the oldest one, because I feel like Dawn had really brainwashed or whatever you want to call it, the oldest one. Like he was probably the main one that
he spent a lot more time with Dawn than the other one.
Yes.
Because he went to Dawn with Dawn to Utah and all that.
For all we know, once he got to daycare shit. Once he got in DF, when they got him, he could have been like, F off, F you. I'm not talking to y'all. Leave me alone,
Yep. See, we have no idea of any of that. And,
right.
And I know a lot of people wonder what they've said or what they could have said. I don't speculate on it a lot because we have no way of knowing, and I don't want to.
Never put nothing on them. Never,
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Never.
And I feel like that Dawn has made comments to where it seemed like he was trying to put it out there that there may be fault in their direction for not watching or something to that effect. And I definitely don't want to amplify anything like that because it wasn't their responsibility to watch Summer. That was Dawn and Candace's.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And
I feel
you
like
can't tell me, especially the oldest one. I don't know. I don't really know their ages. I kind of got an idea how old the oldest one is. He probably has access to internet, or when they go to school, they have, and they could be seeing all that, seeing all this. And I don't want to be nobody that ever says anything bad about a child.
Exactly.
I would never want those boys to turn on, something, and, Suzette was on this channel and said this about those boys. Can you believe that? I would never.
Yeah. I won't either. I don't do it. I try to. I don't show their pictures. None of that. You know,
Mm-mm.
because I don't want to make anything any harder on them than it has to be. Because they lost their sister. They lost their parents. They've had a traumatic experience. Whatever
Very.
that we know 1,000% for sure, we know they've had a super traumatic experience just in what we know for sure. Okay. That's not, on top of what they could have possibly been through.
Right.
I
Right.
wish them the best.
I
I
do
wish
too.
there was a way that some of these people supporting their parents could have support them instead. And
Yeah. Put that money in a
the
little
world,
account for them for when they, get old enough to
yes,
go to college or want to buy their first vehicle or whatever. All the money they're slinging at Don and Candace. That just, especially when Kathy said that about those cards, I'm like, if that don't wake people up and get you to quit sending them money, then that's on you, dumbass. If you were,
I mean, yeah, it's sad, it is, and it shows you though, man, that um, how people can get so codependent too, to where they expect it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and that's Candace. That's
Yeah,
Candace 100% because she has no self confidence. I guess you could say none. She is totally dependent on whoever's going to take care of her. She
yeah,
was totally dependent on Kathy, to take care of her while Don was in jail. And now, straight out of jail, dependent right back on Don again.
yeah,
And that's her mentality. I mean, but her mind never grew. Her mind, I think she's always been with somebody.
yeah,
So she's never gave herself time to know that she could learn. And now she's probably to the age where who cares. But nobody gave her any skills when she was younger, and she didn't develop any skills when she was younger. She doesn't have any skills of how to take care of herself. It's
yeah,
it's kind of, if you think about Candace, it's kind of sad because she's just not all that. Not that she's not all there, but she's not capable of much. As far as uh,
well, yeah. I mean, I'll give her some slack for that, but it shouldn't have took 7 children to figure it out.
no, but I just think uh, she was an alcoholic. You know, so you just, when you don't want to deal with it, you just get drunk. You don't want to deal with life. Well, and she's just a bad alcoholic.
When you're a mother, you gotta make a decision at some point that your children are more important than drink. Especially,
Absolutely.
especially when you have 7.
Absolutely. And you would think that the grown ones that she does have, you know, uh, I don't know, they can just seems like the grown ones can tell you this is what you did to me when I was younger, and I resent you for the. It just seems like that would have made her think, I don't want to make that mistake with the 4 smaller ones. I don't know.
I
No remorse, no remorse, no accountability, just
that's
none.
that's my problem, is no accountability. You know, I I everybody makes mistakes. There's lots of alcoholics out there.
Yes, there
There
is.
are, and there's lots of them that's done bad stuff. But the number that gets to me is that hasn't raised any of her 7 children successfully. that she's
Ex-
birthed.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. No,
bringing 7 lives into this world that are going to start out at a disadvantage right off the bat. And that's also 7 that goes into a system that who knows what they're going to experience.
exactly.
Seven
So
lives
Candace had
just
no.
affected.
Yeah. You got to think Candace. So Grandis was a shitty mother. Uh,
That's the
Candace
area
spent
where
time.
I give Candace a little bit of slack. Is Grandis comes off as about the coldest person to me I've seen.
Could you imagine that woman raising you, or being her child when you were smaller? Oh God,
No, I
Lord
could.
help.
I
No. So yeah, it's sad because so many, lots and lots and lots and lots and just thousands of children come from that kind of environment where the parents have addictions, and those addictions come before anything. And the perverts, they go after the single moms that have, smaller children, and it's just a sick, sick, sick world.
it it is, and there's people everywhere. That's why I quit. That's why Jose to me is so interesting. How that story was, and I really question what was going on there. You
Oh,
know,
I do too.
it's
And
so odd, the story of just meeting somebody that day and letting them move in to your small ass house. You know,
once again, that's her mentality. That's probably why Granny was on the hill. Don, when he left and went to Wisconsin, Utah, wherever it was, and stayed gone 6 months, she didn't want to be up there by herself. That's probably why when Jose come along, she was like, "Yeah, come on." Once again, I don't want to be by myself.
but I just question that whole story though. It's so strange on the circumstances of how that came to be.
Lord, you get with
Could
Mama Bear on that one, because Mama Bear, she's dug on that New York trip a lot. She don't like it. She don't like the way. She ain't liked it from the get go. It don't sit right with her, and she's done a lot of research on that one.
I don't like the Jose staying out of nowhere, yet everybody else decided to turn around. I don't
Yeah,
like the story of how that was told to have happened. So that tells me there was another reason it turned out like that.
yeah.
And that reason, say that New
Well,
York trip was
Jose has
a huge load of product.
bullshit.
Jose could have been
Yeah.
left by to disperse it. Jose could have seen a chance. Jose, for all we know, could have been a bad dude and seen a chance to get into a family to where he could. Who knows?
There you go. A mother with small children with no man around.
No man around. That's exactly right. You would think that that would be the ideal situation for somebody
Yes.
to harm children.
No, I'm not saying that's what happened by no means,
I'm not
but
either.
that's a possibility. I mean, you have to think about it, and wonder about it.
And I've questioned Andrew on my show like
Uh,
twice
God.
about that trip to death, and I'm
Yeah.
still convinced he's lying to me. And I've
Yeah.
told him that too. I said, I do not believe that one bit that y'all changed y'all's mind after going through all that shit in 2 hours just to turn around and go back. I don't believe it.
And apparently the whole bunch, all these jobs, it's all like Jeffy's job was. I thought, well, he's transferring jobs. He got an opportunity in Tennessee, Walmart. it was to transfer to Walmart, and I was like, well, the way it was presented, like it might have been a better opportunity to come to Tennessee because of a job opportunity. Walmart, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, see, he transferred his job from
From
the
Walmart.
Walmart up there
Yeah,
to the one down here.
yeah,
That's not something where you can tell them to do it and it's a phone call and done. They had to plan for that and everything. That makes no
yeah.
sense whatsoever why you would turn around and move back like that.
And did we ever find out, like, what location was the house they were going to move in at? Where was that house?
I've never heard Andrew
Never.
accurately tell that.
I haven't either.
There's a
You
link if
know,
you want to come up, anybody. I haven't
never heard
one
that.
time been told any specific on anything. It's a
All you
lot.
know is we came, we unloaded, we loaded up, we left, Jose stayed. That's it. Changed our mind. Youngins and all, 13 people. I
Didn't
think it
know
was
a
13.
soul and and decided to move down to redneck capital of the world.
Because the schools were better. Now, they did use the excuse for, the schools are better than up there.
Now
I did hear that.
I'm talking about Jose as
Oh,
as a person of color moving down to rebel flagged Ben Hill Road.
yeah.
Nobody ever
Confederate.
mentioned that. Don't that strike y'all as
No,
odd?
I've never thought of it like that. Never thought of it like that. But yeah, you're right.
You would
Like you
think
said,
he's going through a nervous breakdown and all this shit. That'd be the last place you'd want to lay up, wouldn't it?
yeah, especially if they stand behind their rebel flags, if they're not out there just flying them because, oh, that's just what you do. But, because if they stand behind them, then you know.
Oh, it makes no damn sense, man. None.
Right. None. I can't see chat. How many we got in here, John?
62.
Everybody hit that like button for John.
We're in here way too early. I just wanted to see if my computer was going to work, man. I spent 3 hours yesterday trying to get it straightened out. It seems to be kicking ass, though.
I hear you fine.
I was going to bring a third person up so we could really test it out, but we ain't got no takers. Holly and Nana seem to be scared this morning.
Is Nana in here?
Yeah.
Nana, get up here so we can see if this is working right. I know Nana, she's got something to say. She always does.
Oh, she never shuts up. I'm so shocked.
I know.
I can
Come
usually
on,
barely, the link ain't even dry and she's up here.
Yeah. What's going on with Nana this morning? She can't take a link. Highly unlike her. And Holly. Of course, it's not Monday morning for Holly, so, Mondays is usually Holly's weekly update.
Love your bling and tats, John. Thank you. Y'all like my, what do you call that? What do you?
Your bling bling.
Emoji.
I'm just now looking at it. I wasn't even paying it no attention. Yeah, I see what they're talking about now. You got your bling bling on, got it going on. Or was you just trying to put some color in for the black and white background?
Jessie made that.
Oh, okay.
She makes me like look ridiculous constantly, thinking I won't show it.
She ought to know better by now.
I think I got another one here. I think it's even better. Hold on. There. Oh, here we go. There she is.
Nana finally get up here.
There
Hey,
she
Hi,
is.
guys.
Nana.
Hey, Suzette.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. Hey, John.
What's up?
Did y'all hear the latest news? We have another, not directly connected, but we have evidently another unaliving that was a member of the SDA
Yes,
church,
I did see that.
and he was Brandon Lawson's mentor.
I forgot about that, John, but I just seen it this morning.
Stephen Trent.
Any kin to the Carly Trent situation?
I don't know. I haven't got a chance to look into it yet this morning.
Wow.
He took himself out?
Yep. Sure did. I'm wondering if it ain't connected to the Bill Wayne or Wade, whatever the guy's name is, over at the Lamplight Theater.
Yep. Couple of people's done some videos on the Lamplight Theater situation lately.
That dude went to jail or went to court yesterday. I'm trying to find out what happened to him.
Which one?
The preacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had court yesterday. I don't know if it was an arraignment hearing or which actual hearing it would be. Preliminary, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've read some of those victim stories, and it's pretty bad. This has went on for years.
Yeah, let's be easy. I'm already in trouble, okay?
Okay. Well, John, let me ask your opinion about something.
What?
If you have a church theater, whatever you want to call it, okay, they had a building back in 2015. Somebody told me it was 2021 when they sold it and went to Kingsport, but it wasn't. It was 2015. But the building that they sold, they put it up for auction. This building that they used to have their church in, theater, whatever, it had 6 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2 kitchens, living rooms. Tell me, why does a theater and or a church need 6 bedrooms?
How big was the theater?
I don't know, 4,000 or something feet, something like that. The actual theater itself. The place was massive.
Yeah.
Well,
But
tell me why Alabama needs to spend millions of dollars on pastoral housing, I believe is what they're calling it.
Oh, I don't know. But
Well,
I'm trying to figure out why church needs bedrooms.
Yeah, let's stay off that subject, man. I don't want to get into that. I just got a warning. Let's like.
Oh, sorry, John. What would you like to talk about?
Nana, can you shed any more light on Fred Hill to John than what I have?
About what?
Just what he said and what your opinion is on it and what,
I happen to think that there's a little bit of truth in every lie ever told.
What part of it do you think's the truth?
I think the truth is that he may know what's going on. I don't know that. I can't say that I think that Cotton dude did anything. For one, because we can't prove that he is unalive because of the reasons said. Nobody can find that information. Nobody can find out how he passed, where he was when he passed, not even what county.
I thought they said he fell off a cliff or fell hiking.
They said that, but wouldn't that have been in the news?
Oh, okay. Well, you research that, more than I do, so yeah.
Yeah, it would have been in the newspaper. If somebody would have.
It's convenient that he's not here, though, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. But then again, it's convenient that there's a lot of them not here. I mean, counting this Stephen dude the list is up to 21 that has an indirect or direct contact with Beach Creek.
That is the crazy. Isn't that just crazy?
Yeah.
But I mean, you can make a connection pretty easy on some things too,
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm just making the list, and then I'm going to go through and see how they connect for sure. But I'm just saying,
anytime a person is in jail in a lot of trouble, just got busted with a ton of shit, and they say something to the effect of what he said, I think you should question it 10 million%.
well, I mean, yeah, that's what I said. We can't even find out how this man passed away. So yeah, you got to question whether or not what he said is true. Yes, 100%. I'm just saying, I think there may be a little truth in there somewhere. Like as in Fred knows something there. And then somebody trying to unalive Fred as soon as he gets in there. Maybe he knows more and somebody wants him shut up.
I forgot about that part, John.
How do we know somebody did that?
Because, okay, Fred went through the process, booked in, and everything, got put in the bullpen, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, right after that, not somebody that was already in jail, John, but somebody that was arrested after Fred got booked in and put in the bullpen. Fred had time enough to go to sleep, and the guy comes over and with I don't know if it was a hand towel or a pillowcase or what, puts it across his neck and tries to get the job done. They did the job, and it took LE to come in and resuscitate Fred. He's got the marks, everything on his chest.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, where they resuscitated him. They, in fact, and how you do
How
this?
is that verified?
Because he raised his shirt up and showed everybody.
Oh, shit.
People have checked, John. The markings are consistent with being resuscitated.
Are they?
Yes. And the other part of it was supposedly while they were resuscitating him, they almost broke his wrist.
Did they?
How do you break somebody's wrist trying to resuscitate them?
Where did that information come from, Nana?
Fred said it on that first.
Fred said it.
I didn't.
It was if you believe
it was on the interview with Ziggy when she was talking to him on screen.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you listen to the whole interview then, Nana? See, I just listened to some of the clips about, what he said about Cotton and all that. That's the part I come in on.
I watched the one where Ziggy did the commentary to it, where she kept stopping it, and then when she came back and just played the whole interview, and then when she had the phone call interview with him, yeah.
So you think somebody actually did try to assassinate Fred?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Where would be the most? I mean, if you have somebody that was arrested for what he was arrested for, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be unlogical to think somebody else that was just arrested right after him would come in and try to get rid of him. You ratted on me, you sorry piece of blah, 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 and do away with him. I mean, there shouldn't be any questions about why Fred was, unalived. He ratted on somebody. Easy explanation.
It didn't happen. That's the easy explanation. Fred Hill's full of shit. Fred Hill is a sick ass telling lies. He's busted for dope. That's the reason he's in jail. Let's not forget that. Okay. So
90%,
some Hollywood script why
90% of everybody up there.
Gullible as y'all want to be. I'm not going to even play along with none of that. That's crazy as hell, man. I cannot.
90% of everybody up there. Cotton was into making meth. James.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Nope. I think when you get too into that, you hurt Summer's case by rabbit hole and all that. You're building a defense for later. You're you're causing more of an issue than you're helping. I'm not doing it. I am not going to pretend like I believe any of that nonsense Fred Hill's saying. A man that's in jail for what he's in there for. And, you know, he ought to be in some kind of trouble for even saying this shit. You know, it's recorded that he's lying and slandering. Who knows? Their poor family. I'm not putting up with none of that. I'm sorry. I know a lot of y'all probably gonna be mad. You can be mad. Nope. That's nonsense. Fred Hill, what he's doing should be a crime. And, you know, I'm not so sure that there ain't others that play into this shit for ulterior motives. Let's just leave it at that.
Goodness.
I'm sorry.
You okay, John?
I live in reality, and I'm just not going to go with all that. I'm not. You know?
There's definitely been a lot of rabbit holes in the case, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit no more. You know, I've been guilty of it, but I mean, I've learned my lesson to where you can't take shit at face value. And I'm not going to keep going on stuff that in my mind is just ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, it's helping build a defense for whoever is guilty of this shit.
That's true.
All you got to do is convince some juror or something. Oh well, you know now what? Say we find out who did this to Summer. Okay, that person's up there on the stand. Their lawyer's going to bring it up. Well, what do you think happened? Well, I don't think this happened, but I know it's been said many a time, and they can start naming off all this shit. You only got to confuse one damn person. That's it, you know?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I damn sure don't want the defense playing my video where I'm saying that we all think it's this guy that Fred Hill said, and then they enter that into evidence. It's not helping Summer's case to go along with shit like that.
I sure feel sorry for the person that has to go through all of this.
Oh my God.
I feel sorry for the person.
I'm hoping a lot of stuff like that just ain't even thought of or admissible. I would say there's probably laws against a lot of it, but I don't know. I'm just not going down that hole.
I want to know why they got Megan Boswell's case so far out. She don't even go to trial to 2025.
I guess, I think you can drag that shit out a lot if you try hard enough.
That's crazy, though. I know I felt like they dragged that Vallow case out, the Lori Vallow case, that got drug out too, but darn, it didn't get drug out quite that long. Of course, her husband still hadn't went to trial, but they done got her. Her sentencing's coming up the end of the month too. Yep. So I was curious about that when they said that trial wasn't going until 2025, because hadn't she done been in jail like 2 years already?
Seems like a while, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen like what exactly they have, what their smoking gun is on her. Do you know?
Well, I just know where they found the baby, and I don't, did she confess that she finally, I cannot remember if she confessed. Does anybody in chat remember if she confessed to doing it? I know her grandpa is the one, I think, that found the baby like out in the little shed behind the house in a garbage can, turned it, and
Yeah,
she was upside down.
yeah. I wonder if they got DNA evidence off of that, maybe. I know
Can't
she was trying to
remember.
blame her mom at one time. I tell
Yeah,
you,
the
that
mom
girl,
and her husband or boyfriend, yeah.
we're talking about Megan Boswell.
Yeah.
She seemed she seemed so blissfully ignorant to the circumstances in her interviews, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's weird how she acts, I think. Law enforcement found the baby, not the grandfather.
Oh, I thought the grandfather. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just up here. See how things, see right there, how I just I said something wrong. I don't want to muddy no waters.
Well, that's a lot different than going down a huge rabbit hole of.
Yeah, I just have, I thought the grandfather played a big part in finding that baby. He might have been the one that reported her missing or something. Hadn't seen her, something suspicious. I thought something about the grandfather, anyways, like that.
You know,
And then Harmony Montgomery, they got his tail. That was horrible, horrible.
I keep going back to maybe their case is better than we think, and the prosecutor is one of them that really wants a body, and they think for some reason they're going to find it because they keep saying they think she's in the area.
Well, then why aren't they letting like Equus? Like I watched Duty Ron a couple of weeks ago, and he had Equisearch on there, and I didn't realize that Equisearch had been out there 3 times. But I did hear that the third time they got turned, was told to leave or whatever. But like they did, like just want them to search a specific area. Like they just wouldn't let them branch out and search, and they've got such good equipment and stuff to do, some really good searches. I
Yeah,
mean, Lord, they found people that's been missing for a long, long time. Like they've got a pretty good record, and they're willing to come there. So I don't understand it.
yeah.
If
I
they feel
don't
like
understand it either at all.
that makes no sense to make that statement that they feel like she's close, as in possibly, around the hill or whatever in those woods, then why won't you let professionals come in there and try to find her?
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't let anybody search. I mean, it's been 2 years. You would think anybody that was competent enough to search, you would let them search.
Yeah. Yes. Bring in some more dogs. What was the last search they did in, what was it, in 2022? Like November? Yeah. Wasn't that the last search?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And then I think they just did specific area then too, didn't they? They had a specific area in mind, and they went to that, searched that area.
And there's technology too now. They could maybe try it with drones in areas that are harder to get to, if nothing else. Maybe
That's
look
what
into that.
Equisearch said. See, Equisearch has got them drones. That's what they were talking about. The Equisearch team was talking about that.
Yeah,
Because they had Dave Radar and I forget the lady's name that was up there with him, but I listened to the interview. It was a good. If you like Duty Ron, I like listening to him. Some who he has up there and stuff.
yeah. I like the. I seen the one you were talking about, some of it the other night.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, like they're like, yeah, we're willing to come back. We can have our team ready. Blah blah blah. And Hawkins County, nothing. You don't hear a peep out of them.
yeah.
Not a peep. And then you just got Don and Candace out there just grifting away. Just send me your money. Don't send no empty cards of condolences or nothing like that, because they just gonna get thrown in the trash. Don't just send them a sympathy card, because they ain't even gonna look at that if it ain't got a gift card or some money in it.
Yeah. Amen.
That's sad, ain't it?
Yeah. It's
But
sad.
it's really pathetic, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, Suzette,
They're just not good people. Okay.
I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to try some other stuff out while we're live before I go. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk
Thank
to
you
you
for
later.
coming out. It's good hearing from you.
No problem. Take care now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh my God! Finally caught you while you was alive. Hope all is having a good day. Flies on the coleslaw. How you doing? I ain't seen you in forever. Where's Summer 1-800 TBI fine? How are you? I see you a lot. If I'm not mistaken, they use military style equipment to search for Summer for miles. If she would have been there, they would have found her. Yeah, I know. It just seems like if there's something could be done positive, searching is the only thing I can think at this point. You know, I think we already know damn near everything that there is to know. You know, I think now it, it really needs to concentrate on finding her somehow. And I don't know. I don't think she's close around the house, or I really think she would have been found in that. The initial search seemed to be spot on. You know, I have a hard time thinking that she's close to that house. We've been strangers on these YouTube streets, lol. I know, it's like some people, I don't know, I just miss them. You know, it's weird like that. But at this point, outside of searching, I don't know, and I don't know law enforcement with no updates and don't tell you anything. It makes you really speculate. Um, if you listen to JLR, he seems to think they're investigating Dawn. I don't know. Dawn has been called back for some reason, it seems. Would law enforcement tell us that? If they was, probably not. Maybe this was a tactic on law enforcement's part to get Fred to say all of this just to see if Candace and Dawn called or would come back to Tennessee to find out about their baby girl supposedly missing. That's an interesting take. Like maybe Fred could have been being used by law enforcement to stir something up. I don't know. His charges are pretty serious. I don't know what. I don't know. I'm just so suspicious of somebody in trouble like he is saying anything from jail. Dave and Twyla from EquiSearch said there are so many places that need to be searched still. See, that's what's disheartening. I believe law enforcement knows a ton more than we do, but they are not saying anything. I think law enforcement definitely has knowledge that we don't. Like, I think they know, because I'm thinking there's footage of either Beach Creek or Bean Hill that's showing who's coming in and out. I do think there's footage of that, okay? And that would be enough if you just had them on a certain couple, like, oh, if you had one on Beach Creek before Ben Hill and one down the road, you could tell who was in that area that day. You would know if a car came in or left that you couldn't account for. I'm thinking there's got to be at least that much of digital evidence. I know, like, I have a doorbell cam, and I know those houses out there are a lot more sparse and all this, but it could see ways to if there were vehicles going in and out. You know, no, I didn't hear Smiley's phone call. I'm sorry. Out there, in the cell phone signals, man, how much does that affect it? Who knows? It wasn't bad enough to where Candace couldn't make a call on two different phones, because that's exactly what she did. She may have switched phones because one was better than the other one, but she even, she used them both. So with that technology, that could be enough for it to catch up. I would say all it has to do is have that signal for a second for that ping to be sent that identifies as being in the area. The Amber Alert is active. Yeah. Apparently the Amber Alert is going to stay active. And I don't know. There's got to be some kind of technology that's at least showing that there wasn't nobody there that wasn't supposed to be, or that there was somebody there. One or the other. I don't think you could have made it, because I've looked at the map. There's enough houses to where somebody would have caught it. See, that makes me think that's why they think she's in the area. It's because there's no unexplained shit on those cameras showing anybody leaving the area in that time frame. But see, who knows what time frame they have. She had Wi-Fi. She could have Wi-Fi called, and if she posted on TikTok and Facebook so much, it was good Wi-Fi. Yeah, but I mean, everybody says there is a signal out there. It's just, it's spotty, like in the country, underdeveloped areas. Does law enforcement still have H's phone? If so, I wonder why. I don't ever remember. I remember hearing him bitching about him having it for so long, but I think Andrew may have answered that. I'm not positive about that. Regardless, they could have copied it if they needed it. If he does have it back. Pictures the police put out of Summer being older were horrific. Yeah, I was let down in that too. I was in shock that it just didn't seem right to me. I've even went back and looked at pictures of my little girl at the same age, just to see. And yeah, I mean, you can see a difference, but nothing like that. And I don't get, to me, I swear it seems like whoever did that picture basically modeled it off of that Christmas picture, and not at the time she was missing. Like, where's 1-800-TBI-FIND? Like, her picture there is even closer. That's what it looks like to me. The Wells use burner phones. Granted, see, and yeah, that's another thing too. H talks about Grandis loading minutes onto her phone. If a burner phone usually have the shittiest of signals, if she can get a call out of there with that thing, then I'm sure they could tell if somebody was in the area. And, Dawn's talked about people that have told him, supposedly, that they were contacted by law enforcement because their shit pinged in the area. So I think that ability is there. I just think I think more than anything, when they brought that up, they were talking about communication while they were searching stuff was hard, but I don't think it was to where that technology wouldn't help. They radar said if Hawkins County or TBI asked them to come back, they would be there in a heartbeat. So he obviously thinks it's worth another look. Really? See? There you go. That goes along with what I was saying. I think they should have done more searching. I really do. Um, you know, since we were talking about H's phone, that come up the other day about somebody was talking about that, and we got back to um, the fact that Dawn had made the comment that when they got their phones back, they had been deleted. Everything after 3:30 had been deleted. I think there's a clue in that too. See, I think as best I can remember, I would have to go double check myself, but it seems like H and his girlfriend got together around 1:30 ish. So it's interesting that 2 hours after that, Dawn says their phones have been deleted. Everything after that, after 3:30. Billy put Summer in landfill. God, I hope not, because that would you. I think that's what happens sometimes when people are never found. Pick looks like her older brother with long hair. Oh, they said her Amber Alert's no longer active. I checked that not too long ago and it still was. That must be new. I'll have to look into that. Don talks a lot about children. It's disgusting and disturbing. I thought his story was weird about um he said he was riding by and seen that little girl and walked her to the door and all that. That story is strange as hell. He told on I think it was Voices Behind the Wall one night. But that's what's got me believing about the 3:30 thing. I try to put all these things together like, okay, I feel like Candace wasn't there when it happened. It was after 3:30 that something happened because that's when he's saying for some odd reason everything's gone off the cell phones. I try to draw links together that way. I believe they shaved Summer's hair because can't hardly get DNA. Who knows? That's one of the 10 possibilities. I believe there's some kind of discrepancy in the story though, because in the same interview they say that they shaved it because she wanted to be like Candace and the boys, and right after that Dawn says, well, Candace shaved her hair because so Summer wouldn't feel bad. That's a direct discrepancy right there. So why? Either she did it because she wanted to be like the boys and Candace, or it was an accident and Candace did it so she wouldn't feel bad. One of the two. It can't be both. And why is there that discretion in their statement? Because something's not true. It's like Candace's, I walked her to the door statement. Why is she telling us something that's not true? Got to get to the why. Plus said he knows where they traffic children. He's been in a hotel that they were trafficked children. That came from his own mouth to watch him say it on YouTube. Yeah, I seen that too. He says so much incriminating shit, man. And this stuff that just come up about his arrest and all that, it really makes you think we could be dealing with a really troubled individual, like of epic proportion in his psychopathy. True, Hunter's sister said Candace dropped off Hunter at 2. Yeah. That's why I don't like the timeline. I feel confident about, though, that 3:30 has something to do with something. Or it had something to say best case scenario, Don's telling the truth. It had something of interest to law enforcement. Say Don's lying and he erased it, then there's a reason he did it, right? So I think it happened after 3:30, and that's why I don't know that the timeline of what they did before that. Is there a clue in that? Did they do that in a certain order for a reason? I don't know. But I really feel like there's a good chance it was after 3:30. That's why Dawn made the comment. There's something that is wrong with the alibi after that time. There's a problem that's happened, and it's happened after 3:30. The thing about Dawn and selling one of them, I've heard that story. I don't know how truthful it is, though. My eyes will always be on Candace. Yeah, Mrs. Wrong place at the wrong time. A lot of the time, it's suspicious. There's no doubt about that. Extremely suspicious, I think. Script is just that, a script. Yeah, I think so too. Especially like when you get to the part where they talk about the flyers, that part of it. It's amazing how well Dawn tells it for the person that wasn't there. Y'all remember when Jenna was talking to Candace, and Jenna said Candace told her Dawn got really got home at 3:30, but not to tell anybody. Jenna was talking to Candace, and Jenna said Candace told her. See, that's another one. I don't even know who Jenna is, to be honest. But I don't like anything that they told somebody else. I do not like secondhand information because there's so much of that. I know that there was a lady that claimed to have a really tight relationship with Candace, and a lot of people think that everything that woman said is fact, and I don't, you know. That's why I don't like none of that he said, she said stuff. And it does it, and I'm not even talking about, I don't like it from any secondhand thing like that. Don said he left work and went to Dollar General at 3:30 that day. Oh, is that true? I haven't seen that. If that's true, then that really makes you wonder what he was up to right then and there. What grandma takes off when their grandchild is missing. What parents move from the house that their child was stolen from. I think it's because they know she's gone. That's what about everybody would assume. I think by their actions, you think that is not the actions of somebody that don't know. Recently I've been all hung up on the fact that I was watching the other day, because I'm a big studier of behavior, and I like looking back at parents that are innocent and parents that turn out to be guilty, and look how they act. So I was watching Kyron Horman's mother, and if you don't know who that is, you should Google his name, Kyron, Horman, Horman, Hormon. I'm pretty sure. And his mom is heartbroken. This woman has really been through it. Anyway, my point is, I ran across one of her interviews, and I apologize, the train's going by. But in her interview, and this was 10 years after he had been missing, she is crying like he went missing that day. And she is talking to him like he's still the little, I think he was, I don't want to say for sure, he was little, 6 or 7, I want to say. And she's saying, Kyron, we're still looking for you. We're going to find you, honey. And it is heartbreaking to listen to. Um, but it shows you the contrast. Then you can watch, Dawn and Candace talk about, you see them on people's live streams and they're talking about, well, we're not talking about summer today. This ain't about summer. And you think, the normal parent of a missing child would probably want to talk about that child and that child's case anytime they were in a situation like that. Like, to me, if my child was missing and I was going to be on YouTube, right, that'd probably be the only reason I would be doing it. I would either be too upset to I couldn't see being on YouTube for any other reason than talking about my missing child. You know, it's amazing. And I don't know if y'all remember that the little girl Cleo Smith, she went missing. I had thought her mom was guilty because her mom, when she would talk about her, would shake her head no to questions that should be yeses, and it turns out her mom had nothing to do with that. And that story was crazy. The story was they're out camping and they wake up and the little girl's gone, just gone. And it's her and the I think it was a boyfriend or stepdad. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but it turns out a guy had actually came and taken her. So I don't know. Don't they have Candace on camera going into a gas station bathroom at one point? Not to the best of my knowledge. I've never heard that. All I've ever heard, I think they have, they know places she was at. I think, but as far as camera, I know they have them on Walgreens in the drive-through. I've heard. I'm not sure. I would ask more what mother or grandmother would send 3 other children down a creek if they knew somebody abducted the other child. I'll tell you, it didn't happen. That's why. Well, at that point, I don't. That's why I have another issue is why they went to abduct her and why Candace believes abduct her. Because if you were there and you didn't see nobody, you didn't, see that the dogs were acting peculiar or nothing like that, how could Dawn convince you there was an abductor? Why does Candace believe that? You know? And I don't know, has Grandis ever even actually said what she thinks? I don't know that I can't remember. On her interview, the one we did hear her talk actually come out of her mouth, not somebody saying she had said this or that. I wasn't impressed with her level of desire to have Summer found. I'll tell you that. I mean, the lady says, "Well, if the police want to talk to me, they know how to find me." You know, and you would think they'd be pissed off at the police by now. It's been 2 years. You still haven't figured out what's happened to my daughter. Why? I want answers. I would be, and I'm not one of them people. I typically support law enforcement, But if it was 2 years down the road and I honestly didn't know where my child was, oh my God, I'd be going off on law enforcement. Sadly, Candace, she just doesn't care. She lost her kids before. She just wants to be free of all of it. But this time she went too far. Dawn covered it up to hide the. So, yeah. Makes you wonder, man. Everybody it seems to be leaning toward Dawn had control of her. But God, it's got to be some kind of control to last the whole time he was in jail. You know? I, I think she's in it as deep as he is at this point. It's the way they're seeing it. And they got that ride or die thing over it. It's what it feels like to me. Worst case scenario, I think about 90% of people can agree that know anything about the case. I think I would guarantee you 90% of people would agree they do know something as to what's happened. They're not as puzzled as everybody else. And there's no reason Grandis should think it was a damn abductor either, you know? That don't make any sense. And if Grandis ain't involved, she don't like Dawn. Why wouldn't she roll on him? Could she possibly actually not know what happened? Grandis never spoke for her own daughter Rose. Rose Meyer spoke for Grandis to police and media when Rose Bly came up missing. God, there's so little on Rose's case, man. It's amazing. I've tried looking into that. So the odds of being the grandmother to a missing grandkid and a missing daughter just have to be astronomical. You avoiding me, John? No, Selena. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been on a ton. Goodness never spoke for her own. Oh, sorry about that. Sadly, I don't know. It seems too astronomical to believe. I'm a grandmother and I've had a missing grandson. After 13 days and nights, I found my own grandson. I only slept 10 hours in 13 days. 13 days. Today he is legally adopted by us, so I have had my feet, them shoes. Oh, wow. 13 days and nights, I found my own grandson. That's awesome. Where do you think you would have been at after 2 years? Brandon Snows just doesn't want to be around them anymore. Well, Don was talking about seeing her in the resurrection so early on made me sick, so soon to give up hope. Yep. And he did that on, I want to say, the 16th. I actually have that clip. I was going to make a video with that, didn't it? I'm working on a video now. It's going to be kind of eye opening to something, I think. What real father would not want prison on the person that harmed their beautiful, precious daughter? Tell me one real man that wouldn't. Yeah, Don did say he knows prison's awful rough. He's been in prison. It's odd, you know. I think most any dad gets asked that question. What do you want to happen to the person that took your child? It's going to have some colorful language and some inventive suggestions. It's odd to say to answer that how he did. I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, over 2 years. Tomorrow will be 2 years and a month, and I'm worried about the case. My son was 6. We lost him while camping for 15 minutes. I was hysterical. Amen. Amen. Yeah, I wasn't going to do a big long live, but I was figuring my computer wasn't going to work. I'm glad it's been straight so far, ain't it? You want to watch a video while we're on here real quick? Or if I got anything new to show y'all? I don't know. Hold on. Here you go. Y'all tell me what this is.
And give Dino a subscription. Dino's another one that Dino's just about at 1,000, not far away. I want to show you all. People, I just want to tell y'all, don't comment. Wake up, it's time to feed the farm animals. And here, Jinky's a lot of haters. Get a mug. I'm not Jinky's man. She's Chili's woman. And I already have 99 problems and don't want another
one. What else we got? We got anything else for y'all this evening? Anybody know what that was all about? Y'all confused? Dang, I ain't got nothing on here any good. Here y'all go. I ain't showed y'all this in a long time.
You filming this?
Okay, y'all. So we got.
Why you filming this?
We got Poppy some new clothes. I think this is going to be his Halloween outfit. Hold on, let me put on the accessories. Hold on.
What the hell is this supposed to be? You got me in overalls. It look like I got a cast on my left arm and I got a James Brown wig on. I ain't gonna get no treats in this. You gonna have me running up on people in this? They ain't gonna think it's Halloween. They gonna think I'm homeless.
It's funny, ain't it, y'all? I tell you, you gotta try to do stuff that will keep you from being depressed when you talk about what we talk about as much as we do.
What's wrong?
Help, and help. She almost hit 4 cars just now, man. She won't let us out.
What's the matter?
I'm about to jump out and risk it all just to get out this car. She can't even drive. I don't even have a seatbelt on over here.
What?
Help me.
Let's see if I got anything else for y'all. Yeah.
She always putting my bag of nuts on top of the refrigerator like I can't use this broom and just climb up there. Oh, all the bristles stuck.
What was that?
Nothing. Bristles stuck me in my arm. Oh, I gotta make this look like an accident.
You need my help?
Hold on. Okay, put it on. No, this ain't. It's too low. Bring it up. I gotta bring it up just a little bit. Right there. I'm in pain, Mama. Come here.
Did you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I hurt myself. Come here. I mean, wait a minute. Don't come just yet. Hold up. Let me put it right here. Right. Okay. Right there. Get it off my chest. Okay, come, Mama.
Okay, I'm coming.
Hurry up. Wait a minute. Right. Okay. That's better. Okay. Hurry up. I'm hurt.
I'm coming.
You taking too long. I'm dying.
Are you all right?
No, I need my bag of nuts. I'm in pain.
Okay, let me go get it.
Yeah, go get them.
So I think that was funny. I thought that was hilarious. I've been saving them up. I'm gonna make me a top 5 funny things to get us in a better mood. Those are great, ain't they? What is that animal? Is that what it is? Is it a squirrel? I couldn't figure it out. I was wondering that the other day. Tell you what, John, a real man and a real father would say would look at somebody and say, all I can say is the cops better get him before I do. Yeah, and I think that's what the majority, damn near everyone would say something to that effect. That's why it's so weird. You know, I think you're correct. What else we got on here? Let me see. Here we go.
I'm really shy. I don't really know what I'm doing. Did I do it right?
Oh, that's so funny. The Nair's comments are hilarious. Yeah. Guys, I've been on here almost 2 hours. I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out with me. And all the people that watch the videos and stuff. I've had a hell of a time downloading videos for some reason lately, man, ever since I got in trouble. So I'm going to keep working on it. Hopefully I have one done next day or two. I've been working on it for a while. And I think we're going to try to be back Monday at our time slot, like 11 or 12, more than likely. I come on early today because I didn't want everybody to see my computer freezing up, and it actually is running better than it has in forever, but I did some work on it, so hopefully it's straight now. You know how technology is, especially when you're trying to do streams and stuff. Sometimes it can be rough, you know. But I do appreciate everybody that did come and hung out and talked, and I'm sorry about the little hiccup we had, but I don't know, man. It's just, it's hard for me to explain how I feel because I've went down rabbit holes I probably shouldn't have, but I'm really trying to just stay out of stuff, you know. Oh, flies on the coleslaw. Thank you so much. So that's so nice. I'm gonna have to call the Geek Squad, see if they can come look at my stuff. Oh, you made my day. I feel so much joy. Lottie, anymore, there's no way we can watch all the videos. It's a bit much. You can, you know. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou, but some of this, man, I'm sorry. It's just when you get to like the fourth or fifth, like, question about something, I just can't keep going with it, you know. I just no, I'm not gonna do it no more. We'll really try to think about reality, and down the line, I damn sure don't want to hurt the prosecution of whoever is responsible for Summer being gone. And like I said, I've never said it was Don and Candace one time. I think everything they've done prior to and since then is about as suspicious as it can get. Okay? I think most everybody would agree with that. And their history, everything, when you look at it together, it's bad. It looks bad. That is just a fact. You can defend it all you want. But at some point, when you're dealing with full-grown adults in their 40s and their 60s or 50s, almost 60, you got to start holding people responsible. And to the point we do know where she is, we need to be making sure that this ain't one of them things that just fades away, because somebody needs to be held responsible, whomever that person is. I agree, keep it real, because reality is real in this case. Yeah. And, I want to say, something else too. It's okay to speculate. I'm not saying it's not. But if you want to talk straight facts, unless you hear it yourself or it comes out on WJHL or TBI releases something, it is not a guarantee. Okay? There's a lot of people that are willing to make things to present stuff in a way that's tempting, but you just ask yourself, you know. That's all I can really say about it. But you know, I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer either. I want everybody to, you know, there's still plenty of hope. You know, till we know, there's always going to be hope. Everybody, let's sign off. Just, you know, maybe say a little prayer to yourself for that summer is at rest, and whoever responsible for the reason she's not out on her swing, that person is brought to justice. Guys, have a good week. Good weekend. I'm sorry. I'll see you later.